Why did the relationship fracture?
Oh, well, why it fractured, that's a lot of things.
Yeah.
And I think by the time we got to 2016, we were just exhausted with trying. I think we were both kind of still stuck in our fantasy of what we thought the other person should be.
Oh.
Let me talk to you. Yeah. Shut up, I'm talking.
What up, YouTube? What up, YouTube? Check this out. Everybody's talking about it. Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith are trending again. But of course, you're only going to see Jada because, you know, Will be on the low key. And the trending topic is Will and Jada have been separated for 7 years. Now, if you didn't know, now you know. But check this out. Go take a look at this video, and I'll be back.
I feel like you're a straight talker.
I am.
Except you're not sometimes.
Yeah.
So why do that? Like, what was the reason?
I think just not being ready yet. Still trying to figure out between the two of us
Yeah.
how to be in partnership, right? And in regards to how do we present that to people, you know? And we hadn't figured that out.
Why did the relationship fracture?
Oh, well, why it fractured, that's a lot of things.
Yeah.
And I think by the time we got to 2016, we were just exhausted with trying. I think we were both kind of still stuck in our fantasy of what we thought the other person should be.
Oh.
Jada says she considered a legal divorce, but could never go through with it.
I made a promise that there will never be a reason for us to get a divorce. We will work through whatever. And I just haven't been able to break that promise.
But you still live separately.
We live separately.
Man, listen. This chick put this man through more things than the antagonists in his movies. Listen, y'all supposed to be working on how to be a couple and not a partnership. Y'all been separated for 7 years. If there's nothing there to fix, y'all should just separate. Will's gonna have to take that L regardless. But aside from that, the fantasy part, who was in the fantasy? So you're trying to say that you and Will were in a fantasy of what y'all relationship should have been? Or was it really just you in a fantasy of what relationship should have been? Because after all, you're doing all the talking. Will's in the cut, playing it low. So you're doing all the talking, you're the mouthpiece, and you're saying all the things, and Will ain't saying nothing. We don't even know what's on Will's mind right now, but you got a lot to say. And of course, you got a lot to say because that book is coming. You're trying to sell some books. So you're gonna make it real interesting, and you're gonna start throwing a little dirt out there. Okay, great. Congratulations. That's really helping matters right now. And as for that divorcing bull crap, come on. You know why you're not trying to divorce Will. Let's keep it real. Will's money is looking way better than your money. Now, yeah, you got this book coming out, you're gonna make a few dollars off of it. But let's be real here. You made a promise to the money. You ain't make a promise to Will. Come on. He taking care of everything. Why would you want to leave? You are living separate lives together. So you could do what you want, he could do what he want. Only thing for you is that you're being bold and straight out about it. Will is playing in the cut. You don't see him, you don't hear him. And if you do see him, it ain't nothing in some negative manner like you're doing just to get a little clout. Come on, lady. You're not fooling us.
As time went on, there were different stages in my marriage where Will and I decided we were not together. Where we didn't, we didn't tell the public, right? Where I was actually thinking about divorcing, separating. I mean, there have been several of those, right? And where we've gone and lived our separate lives. So I think within that is where people might have thought that, oh, they must be having an open relationship. And we just didn't want people to know the dynamic of what was happening between us. We didn't think that that was anybody else's business. And so I think that that's where sometimes that confusion came in.
Now, she said she didn't want nobody to know about the dynamics of their relationship, but your relationship is already out there for the public to know about. So what are you really hiding? You might as well have just told us, because eventually you was gonna put it out there anyway like you're doing now. And the funny part about it is, check this out. You have separate lives. He lives where he lives, you live where you live, okay? Y'all still married, but to say it's not an open relationship is bullshit, because it is an open relationship. If you think about it, you were messing with August Alsina, okay? The young man, the singer. Will wasn't doing anything that we know of. You're telling me that's not an open relationship? That is an open relationship. Even if you're still married, it's an open relationship. So you didn't really leave anything to the imagination, because you basically put it out there. So there's no need to try to say it ain't so when it is so, because we seen it. We heard it. And the messed up part about it is, you put that man through so much. You messed with him. Red Table Talk, you really put it on blast. And did you really think he was going to react to that well? Of course not. You got that man as a former shell of himself. And you get off on this. In the video, you had this evil smile. Like, why were you grinning so much? I think you get a kick out of this. Seriously. And eventually, I do feel that y'all might get a divorce, because I don't even see how this is going to go on for the rest of y'all lives. But it kind of makes sense now. But then now, the one thing that doesn't make sense is Will slapping Chris Rock. What was that about? That isn't making sense to me. If y'all ain't together, why is he still representing you in that manner? Because y'all were just playing a farce of a relationship, of a marriage. Still trying to cover it up, make it look like y'all married. But in actuality, well, y'all were married, but make it look like y'all were still together. But in actuality, you weren't together. He should have never came out and hit his homeboy like that anyway. They were cool. You caused the problem between them. That was your doing. You caused everything in this man's life. And somewhere out here in the internet, you said that you didn't ask him to go up there and do it. But if we watch that video again and we look at your face, you gave him the look and maybe a couple of words, and he reacted to it. Jumped up on that stage and slapped somebody he's been friends with for a long time. You see the kind of influence that she has on this man? I don't know what kind of magic you done did to this man, some kind of voodoo, but wherever it is, you really got him under that spell. That man's mental health is so bad right now. We don't even know what's going on with him, honestly, but he's not the same person. And this is all because of how she treats him. It's all about her. If she's the mouthpiece and she's always talking, that means everything is all about her. Every decision she makes is about her. Most of the time when you see the kids are with her. They're not with him. So what's going on here? Like, it's like she wears the pants in this relationship, not him. Then the video before where she recorded him and he didn't want her recording him, and she did it anyway. They made a sly comment in the video. Like, she does everything to bring this man down. And for what? Money? Clout? Power? Who knows? But she definitely gets a kick out of it. Definitely. And then she also has other things that she said also, that I'm gonna read to you and put up on the screen. We have here, he called me and basically he was like, I'd love to take you out. This is her talking about Chris Rock, trying to talk to her when he thought they were gonna break up. So let me start from the beginning. Jada Pinkett Smith tells People magazine, Chris Rock asked her out one summer amid divorce rumors with Will Smith. He called me and basically he was like, I'd love to take you out. And I was like, what do you mean? He was like, well, aren't you and Will getting a divorce? I was like, no, Chris, those are just rumors. He was appalled and he profusely apologized, and that was that. Really? Really? until I hear from Chris Rock himself, I'm not even gonna take this seriously. Grain of salt with this one. Because I'm just like, now everything's gonna come out the woodworks from her. And you just really can't believe it. You really can't. I mean, that's his boy. So you're gonna tell me when you thought that we're gonna get a divorce, he immediately jumped at the opportunity to get with you and take you out? Wow. Okay. Yeah, when Chris tells me that, then I'll believe it. But believe me, it doesn't stop there. Let's see what else she got. Let's put this up on the screen for you to read also. I'm gonna read it to you anyway. Now, in terms of the slap, yeah, here's where this comes in. I mean, that's what comedians do, says Jada. I would just have to say that I am not really here to make any judgment on how people decide to express themselves and express their art. I'll say that several times. I had my feelings hurt for sure. I've had my feelings hurt a lot by Chris. But at the end of the day, too, being in the spotlight, it comes with the territory. Jada also reveals in her book that Chris, well, I just read you that anyway, so yeah, she got a lot to say. And he, well, hasn't said anything. I would love to hear Will's side of this, but it doesn't seem like he's gonna come out and say anything because he's just that type of person. But I'd be surprised if one day he just came out and just cleared the air. And it doesn't stop there. We got one more for you. Check this one out. Jada Pinkett Smith says Chris Rock approached her after the slap and said, "I didn't mean you any harm." She hasn't talked to Chris since. I mean, what more is there to say about this woman? She is basically the devil in whatever dress she's in. She's evil. There's no way this is your husband and you treat him in such a manner. And then to make it even worse, let's just cap this off right here, right now. Tupac. You wanted Tupac. That's the type of guy that you were into. You settled for Will, but you wanted Tupac. That's why you always talk about him. But Tupac didn't really want you in that capacity. So, but in your mind, you felt like he did, but there's no way. There's no way. He didn't want you. If he wanted you, he'd have had you. Plain and simple. You felt Tupac in a way that he didn't feel you. But since you couldn't have him, and Will was coming on to you, you just felt you'd get with him. And maybe you thought it might work, which I kind of doubt, but you got into it. It worked for a little bit, but you knew that wasn't you. So basically, it's like you settled. Basically, you settled. And now, after all that time, it didn't work out because of the fantasy that you had. Not because of the fantasy Will had, because your fantasy is really of a Tupac character, not of a Will Smith character. So, in essence, if you would have got with a guy like Tupac, you might have been better off. Matter of fact, if you'd have got with Tupac, you might have been better off. But then again, who knows? We can only speculate if that would have worked out too. I tell you, man, this lady here, I don't know what to say about her anymore. It's just too much from one little bit of woman for a man to have to deal with. And Will, I hope you can come out of this unscathed, but I mean, you're already hurting now. So someone needs to save you, intervention, something. But at the end of the day, you need to divorce that woman and just really go on with your life. Because there's got to be somebody out there for you. But let me tell you one thing we already know. It definitely ain't her.
You and your feelings, they just run you, don't they?